All right. Hello, everyone. It's Brenda Miller, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And tonight we are doing our paper pumpkin kit. So we're going to make one of each of the projects from this is the June 2025 kit, and it is called Full of Charm. And it coordinates with a beautiful new online exclusive suite, I think called Charming Day or something like that. And it's really pretty. So let's go ahead and go to my desktop to get started. Here we go. We have a couple of people online today, and so we will be pausing and discussing. So, but if you're watching on replay, feel free to just, fast forward through our nonsense if you don't want to listen to us. So let's go ahead and open our box. Now you, of course, have tissue paper, and I had to remove mine. So here we go. We have this lovely stamp set. Your paper is in your package, of course, but this stamp set has a couple of nice sayings. It's got a thank you, a happy birthday, to a wonderful friend, and let's celebrate you. But the best part is it has 3 different sets of leaves, and these leaves can be used as lovely backgrounds when you're making other projects. So I know that actually yesterday in my quick class, I used one of the leaves for I was just needing something to kind of give a little bit of character to the background of what I was stamping, and that came in handy. So I highly recommend that. Oh, and there's a miss you on here too. So great stamp set to have. All right, and you also get your pretty peacock ink pad, and of course I'll be using my full-size one. I save these and give them away. We have our tear and tape. Now, I'll be honest, I did not use tear and tape on when I was making the samples because I just used my snail instead. But if you don't have snail or you feel like using the tear and tape, you can certainly do that. I think if you watch me long enough, I hoard my tear and tape for 3D projects and such. So, okay. So next up, we have in our little baggie here, we've got our little mini glue dots. And again, I don't use these, but you certainly could. I just use my snail for that. My Stampin' Seal for that as well. And then, of course, we have our dimensionals, which are always great to have. And then we have some little gold sequins. So always lovely to have a little bling. All right, so now we can get into the packaging. And these are our samples. I'll pull them out again in a minute. So if you tear open your package, you'll find that right on top are these envelopes, and they are printed, and there's a nice diamond in the center of the front of the envelope where you can write your address, etc. So those are nice, and they are all the same this time, but we're not going to use these at all. So go ahead and put that aside. And then we get into our projects. So I'm just opening my instructions, and I'm going to the page that tells us what's with each project, and we're going to separate everything out. So the first one is card number 1. We have the first card base is going to go with card number 1. Look how pretty those flowers are already printed. And then we've got the little gold speckles. So we've got that. So that's card number 1. And then put the rest aside. Then you have the card base for card number 3.
Number 3.
That matches the envelope, except this has the gold foiling instead of just a flat color. Okay, and then you put the rest aside. And then we have our little labels, if you will. These are what we're going to be stamping our words on. So the circle that has the radiating, the rays on the outside of the circle, that goes with project number 2. We haven't pulled out our base for that yet. The diamond, the stitched diamond, goes with project number 3. And then the little tag or strip goes with card number 1. And all the rest of those you can put to the side. All right, next we have the card base for card number 2. So I'm picking up my little label, put it so that's underneath, keeps it nice and neat. And then you can take the rest and put those aside. And this is so convenient this time around. The next things that you have are the sheets of die cuts. And you're going to take one full sheet of die cuts, and that's all you need for, you don't have to use multiple die cut sheets for what's on this sheet. So you can put your other one aside, and we're going to pop these out. So the longest one that has the blue and green and peach leaves on it, that goes with card number 3. And the big, beautiful one that is so delicately cut with the roses, that is going to go with card number 1. So just carefully remove that because it is very, very detailed and fragile. So that goes with card number 1. And finally, the little orange flower, that goes with card number 3. And see, you used up the whole thing. Hooray! You can throw the rest away. Okay. Then the same thing on the next and last series of die cuts. Take one full sheet and put it aside. And then the sheet that you have, we're going to punch everything out. So this very big piece with those pretty purple flowers or pink flowers, if you will. I guess they're petunia pop. And just carefully remove that. And that goes with card number 2. And then the pretty peacock leaves, again, be very careful popping them out. That is going to go with card number 3. So pretty, so delicate. And then the mossy meadow leaves are going to go with card number 2.
I'm sorry, the pretty peacock is 3?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
the pretty peacock is 3, yes?
Yes. Okay.
And then the mossy meadow is 2.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And there we go. So not a whole lot of pieces here, really, compared to some projects, for sure. But they are super, super pretty. And you'll see that the final projects just look so nice because they are so pretty. So just give me a thumbs up when you've got that all separated and are ready to roll. Okay? Yep.
All right.
Okay, great. So we're going to start with card number 1. So this beautiful card, and I'm just using the instructions, so you can follow along if you want. I'm just going to push my other pieces kind of out of the way without covering up all the stuff I need. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. So we've got 3 pieces for this. We've got our card base, and I'm going to tell you, do not fold it yet. Okay, so leave it flat for now. Then we have our beautiful die cut piece. You can put that to the side. And then you want to take your little label out. And because we're going to do our stamping first on this card. So you're going to take your ink pad, get it open. If you need to, you just use your scissors and just go along the sides. And we are going to start with this leaf. Okay, so it's the biggest of the single leaves. Actually, it's the only single leaf. We're going to go with the single leaf. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and mount that onto your block. And we're going to be stamping this leaf just 3 times. And you can put the leaves wherever you want. Let me show you on the card what it's going to look like. We're going to be stamping leaves up here and then one down here. Okay, so to do that, so again, because we're stamping on this, we like to leave it open if we can. So you're going to tap, 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 and just put your leaf. You're going to put 2 leaves up here.
Oh, I see.
Like that. And 1 leaf down here. Okay, so I'll show you again. So I have leaf number 1, leaf number 2, and leaf number 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, poop.
Okay. And once you've got that, you can clean that off. We're not going to use that again, but we do need the block. Look what I did. I took a chamois, which is a big, about this size, our chamois, about this size, and I cut it into 8 pieces. So then I have all these little pieces. So instead of using my baby wipes all the time, the chamois is better. It does get stained, and that's okay, because it still will rinse out and be nice and clean. But I did that for a class last week, and now I'm keeping a chamois on my desk at all times. So it makes it a little fun. Yeah. All right, so you're going to peel that off, and then you're going to decide what sentiment you want on there. So this one will fit the happy birthday, the thank you, or to a wonderful friend. It actually might fit happy birthday to a wonderful friend as well, both of them together. I'm going to just use the thank you on this one because I need thank you cards. So I'm going to peel off and grab the thank you, put that on my block, and tap, 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 and put that right in the center. So obviously it might look better with a longer sentiment, but still works. Still works nicely, and it works for what I need. And that, to me, is the important thing. And when you finish that, you can peel that off. Unless you want to use it again later. You'll see. All right, so when you get your stamping done, give me a thumbs up so that I know that we're ready to move on. Yep. Okay, great. Okay, you can close up your ink pad and put it aside because now we are going to be using our die. Now, before we go ahead and put it on, I want you to position it. I want to show you how it gets positioned right on top. So it's actually kind of providing the outline for the flowers that are there. So go ahead and line it up just so that you can get an idea of where it's going to go. And it's very cool. The only thing that might happen is you might have it upside down, and that'll show right away that it's upside down. So flip it the other way, and then it will outline the flowers that you have on there. And of course, then the leaves and everything else fall into place. Now, for this, you could use the little glue dots. But what I decided to do, just because it was easier for me, was to use my wet glue, which seems to have walked away from my desk. What could that have possibly done? I just used it. All right. I'm just going to reach back onto my table and see if I can get this to work. Okay. And I just, with the glue dots or with your glue, you're just going to put a little bit on anything that's solid. Okay, so I don't worry about getting it on those thin lines. I just put it anywhere that's biggest. So obviously the leaves, and I'm just putting teeny tiny dots on. Obviously, if you're using the glue dots, you just want to put it in places where the glue dots fit nicely. But see, there's a little piece here. And, you know, it doesn't take a lot. You only need a couple of spots where it's sticking. And once you get it with some glue on it, I don't know if you can see, so I have these little teeny tiny dots that I put on there all over the place. Then you're going to flip it over and line it up again. Now that you have an idea of where it goes, what's nice about using the wet glue is that if I don't have it exactly right, I can nudge it just a little bit or a lot. And that's fine too. And it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because it is very forgiving. And there you have that beautiful, beautiful layout. Looks so pretty. So as you might imagine, you're going to just take once you finish that, You're going to decide where you would like to put your sentiment label. And for that, I think this comes with mini dimensionals.
Mm-mm.
These are regular dimensionals. I am using the ones from the package. And you can use 2 or 3. I might just use the 3 this time. They do fit. Oops. It over by accident. And then just peel it off. And I'll show you where they put it, and that's where I will put it, just across, maybe lower than the center of the biggest flower. That's where they had it, but you could, of course, put it anywhere you'd like. So I used 3 dimensionals on the back of that little label, and I put it just below the center of the biggest flower. And at any point at this point, you can fold it. We could have folded it right after we stamped. I just forgot. Didn't think of it. My scoring bone. Once you've got that, the final thing that we're going to do is put on our little gold sequins.
Where are they?
And I'll show you where they have them. So they used, 2 small and 1 big. And I'm going to put 1 and 2. So this is kind of like the reverse triangle, if you will. I'll show you where I put them so that you can see. I just put the big one here, and then a small one, and then a small one down here. So it's still giving you that triangle. I say it's a reverse triangle, but it's a triangle no matter how you look at it. It doesn't make any sense. I just have the 2 pieces on the right side this time. Usually I put them on the left. So it's 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So a super pretty card. Obviously, the die cut is what makes it, but it is really pretty. Great to have as part of your stash. So let me know with a thumbs up when you get that done. Okay, great. Speedy girls today. Okay, so next we're going to move on to card number 2. And card number 2 has 4 pieces. So we've got this big piece with the petunia pop flowers. We've got the circle. And we've got the mossy meadow leaves. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be doing some stamping. So we want to keep it open, and we want to get our label out. And we are going to use the largest leaf, and it actually is very similar to the flowers that are here. Okay, so it's this biggest one. I'm putting my stamp back in the wrong place. Okay, so we're taking the largest, and they're actually flowers, but we're going to use them kind of as leaves. Okay, so that's the largest one, and we're going to stamp it 2 times. Let me show you in the card sample. They're going to be putting 1 is in the background here. You can barely see it, and then 1 over here, and I'll show you how that looks. So it's just 1 up here and 1 down here. And it's just going to have it in the background. So that's what it looks like. 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. Quick and easy. And I love that these are distinctive stamps, so they aren't harsh, right? They're kind of, speckled in some places, so it looks a little lighter, and then it's darker in other places. All right, and then what we can do is move on to our sentiment. So for this sentiment, the Miss You and Let's Celebrate You will fit on this circle. Actually, the Thank You may also fit if that is something you need. And I'm going to use Let's Celebrate You on this card. Just have to put away my leaves or flowers. Here. Okay. And remember, you're stamping in a circle, so even if it's not perfectly straight, it's fine. You can just turn it. People tend to forget that. So this is how Let's Celebrate You looks on there. And the Miss You looks like that. Okay, so Let's Celebrate You or Miss You. And once you have that, that's all we need for stamping on this card. So we'll put it away. Off. If you'd like, put it away. Okay. So give me a thumbs up when you get that done before we move on. Nope. So again, we have the leaves up there and then on the circle. Okie doke. Great. So now we can fold our card because I forgot to do that before. And we are going to lay down that very large piece. Now this piece is going to go over here. And I'm going to tell you something. When the instructions, the way that they have them here, have you putting it down with the tear and tape because it's such a large area. You can use the tear and tape for it. I saw somebody do this, and I'm going to actually use some dimensionals because I really like the way that looked on a sample that I saw. So you can use regular adhesive, you can use your tear and tape, or you can use your dimensionals. Now, if you don't have additional dimensionals, you might want to hold off because you want to make all your projects. So you don't want to run out for your other projects especially. But if you have, like I do, lots and lots of dimensionals everywhere in your house, every crevice of my little office here, you can use dimensionals. And I just like the way that looked. Look how that gives it that little lift. I think that looks really pretty. I mean, this looks very nice as well, but I like the little lift on that personally. That's just me. Once you've got that on there, then we're going to do the same thing we did on the first one for this delicate die cut and just put our adhesive or our glue dots just on the bigger section, so like the leaves. And when you go to put this on the card, it actually, just want to make sure, I'm going to put it right where they did. And they put it right over the top. And it kind of looks a little messy, I thought. But once you have it down, you're not going to notice that it's messy once we put it all together. Okay, so the base came down around here, maybe even a little bit lower, and then the leaves are up here. Now, because I used dimensionals, these are floating a little bit, so I want to make sure that at least the places that are touching are sticking down, and I don't necessarily want these to touch down at the moment. Okay, so once you've got that, give me a thumbs up. Okay. That's fine. And we're going to be putting our sentiment right over the bottom of that set of leaves so that we're covering up anything that, in my opinion, looked a little sloppy. Now, I just used 2 dimensionals. You could use 3, 4, 1, whatever makes you happy. And you're just covering it up. And there it is. That's a super pretty card. And of course, we want to put our gems on. So we're going to use 3 again. And kind of in the same places as the last one. So I'm going to put one, let's see, I'm going to come down here where the big one is down there, and then a little one slightly above it, and then the final small one down. Oops, where did it go? Maybe I didn't pick it up. Okay, down here. So I'll show you. I have 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And it just pulls our eye around the card so that we can take note of all the special details and the background being gold and all of that. The thunder has started again here, although the sky is brighter. The sky is brighter than it was before, but so for the people on the recording, if power goes out, I will finish the video later. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not. All right, so when you're done with this card, give me a thumbs up so that we know. Great. All right. Final card is this one. You can see, nice and easy. Same thing, all the same kinds of ideas. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces on this. This one, again, don't fold it because we're going to do the stamping, and now we're going to use that last set of leaves. And this is the one that I used on my little box yesterday on my quick class. We're using that, and we are going to stamp this. Let me just make sure I do it right. Just twice. And where's my ink? Here we go. We're going to do one towards the top right corner. So like that. And then the second one kind of at the bottom of that. Okay. So this is what it looks like. Again, it's very forgiving. One up here and one down here. And like I said, this, I think I'm going to be using this set of leaves a lot. It makes a perfect background, not too heavy, if you will. It's not a solid stamp. And then finally, from a stamping perspective, you're going to choose your sentiment. It's going to go on the diamond that we have, the stitched diamond. And I believe, oh, I'm going to use the Let's Celebrate You again. Where did I put? Let's Celebrate You. Because that's what they used on the sample. And and right in the center. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure that the Let's Celebrate is straight. Don't even look at the U other than making sure that the bottom of the Y stays inside the line, the stitched lines, but you want to make sure that it's the Let's Celebrate that is straight. Oops, I pressed a little too hard. Lucky for me, there are extras of all of our little pieces. I'm going to grab another one and do it again. Now there's only one extra for each of them. So gotta make it good. And again, I'm making sure my Let's Celebrate is straight. And there we go. That's much better. Okay. So we've got our Let's Celebrate there. And let's see. Oops, hang on. All right. Okay, so now we're going to take our big piece of the big die cut. And again, this one, they used the tear and tape. And again, I'm going to try it with the dimensionals. I just like that look. But you can do whatever makes sense for you. See, I just used 3. Once you have your adhesive on there, what you're doing is laying it down and the way that I lined it up, I took the peach edges that are furthest to the left and had them fall right in the, well, at least at the top, in the intersection here on the left side. So that way it's not, well, maybe not. It depends, I guess, how far off you did your stamping. There we go. So I came a little bit in, but I've got it laid down right here. You can see where they are.
Can we fold? We can fold, right?
You can fold. Yep. Yeah, once you stamp, you can fold. Get that done. And then again, you're going to be taking that very dainty leaf die cut and using just a little bit of adhesive in those spots that are largest. I'm going to just put enough that it will stick. And again, I shoot for the leaves. Okay, so it looks like that. And this goes down on the right side, kind of overlapping the blue. The blue leaves. Here we go. So here's our big die cut, and then here's the pretty peacock over here. So it all kind of makes a like a little collage, part sticking out. It's very interesting. I think I used the back side of my card, and that's why it didn't work out like their sample. That's very funny. I didn't realize they were not symmetrical.
Oh, me either.
Yeah, but that's okay, because watch what's going to happen. This is actually going to be, you're going to be aiming to put this in the open space that you have. So instead of being in the center of the card, it's going to be off to the left, the way that I'm doing it. But I'll hold it up the regular way too, since I did that. I didn't realize that they were not symmetrical. So that's what this one looks like, and this is what the other one looks like.
Okay.
Whichever one you did, that's what you will correct it to. I had no idea.
And then is the last little piece
yeah, the
like
little flower is going to go on right next to and overlapping the sentiment. But again, I like to use a dimensional, and I want to put it on the, I don't want it to show. So I like to put my dimensional on the outer part, and then I can decide which way I want to put it on my, like that, and then just stick it down.
Gotcha.
Instead of putting it on the back of the flower, because then it kind of limits where you're putting the flower. And finally, it's just the gems. So again, you're going to do 3 gems. And this one, I'm going to put 1, 2, and then the third one over here. Oh, that's our 1, 2, 3. I did mine slightly different on this one. These are more parallel. But nice and pretty, and you can see how this one being popped up, it has a little bit of interest there, but they both look very nice, I think. So while you're finishing that up, I'm going to pull up the alternative projects like I always do. So I'm going to share my screen and take you over there. Share. And we'll start from the beginning so you can see. Come on. There we go. All right, so our good friend Allison, who is a member of my Jersey Stampers team, these are some of the alternative projects that she did. So she did a lot of fussy cutting here, it looks like to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful job. I love how she used the pretty and pink to balance the darker Petunia Pop. This is a fun fold card. It's just a typical fold where we fold into the center. But the way that this person, who is it, Annette Brown, she put two different panels that overlap. But look what she did in the background here. She used the die cut from the first card and used it as a stencil, and then kind of colored in using maybe daubers or blending brush to get that nice settled background there. So I thought that was very clever, the way that she did that. Okay, this next one, this is Candy Rodo, and what she did is she cut out the center and made it a window card, and then mounted the flowers above on the outside. And then on the inside, she kept the, this outside is from card number 2, right? Remember that background had the little gold? And then card number 1, the front of that card is what's behind on the inside of this. So very cool and different, I think. Actually, she may even made it herself. Now that I'm looking at it, she may have just kind of colored in on a flat piece of paper and put it behind. So very cool, regardless. All right, this is Dolores, and she just took those flowers and cut them in half in a lot of cases and reused them and turned them around. Whoops. I didn't know you could do that, actually. So I just thought a clever way to expand the kit to get a lot more cards out of it. And then she also used some different flowers as die cuts to add to it. This is another fun fold where it's a horizontal card, and then she also cut apart the different leaves and put them on. This one from Laura Siki. Laura Siki always has amazing projects, and these are just the ones that I took this time. This actually, she cut the card front, so this is a panel that flips up in the center. That is pretty cool. And this again, she cut out and made a window and just had flat paper behind it. This is Lynn Dunn. She also does a lot with the alternative projects every month. Here she didn't use she just used the card front and didn't use the stencil or the die cut over the top of it, and then was able to use it on a separate card. So I thought that was a great use of that. This is Ray Burnett, and this is actually a fun fold card where this is a little latch. I've done this before where this was a straight piece, but I hadn't thought of doing it as a triangle to latch, hold it closed. So, and again, she did some fussy cutting here to make it all fancy, and she used the card front, 2 different card fronts on this, so she must have cut them apart. This one, there's another one where that was used as a stencil, so you could actually see more of it. And then this is the same card as number 3, except that she cut away the excess and laid in, I think this is dry embossed too, just so that you know. So she did that. So that kind of gave it a whole different look, I thought. And then finally, Tanya did this. She made them into tags. So she cut tags and embellished and used the stamps and such from it. So those are the alternative projects. I always do 10 of those. And then I also wanted to share, I also wanted to share the coordinating dies for this quarter of the year. So for the July, August, and September kits, these are the dies that you can order, $12 on the website if you are a subscriber. And you can see that it has this nice hello. It's got strawberries along with the seeds. And this strawberry can also be made into an acorn. How clever is that, right? You got some leaves here. We got little flowers and a stitch circle, which I can never have enough sizes of stitch circles, you know. So anyway, that's something that is available if you are interested, the Circle of Dies dies. But that is all I have for tonight. Ladies, which was your favorite card out of tonight?
Which one was which number? I forgot.
This is number 3. Whoops, hang on. Let me go to my desktop. That'll be easier.
Sorry, Brenda.
Okay, no, it's okay. This is number 3.
Okay.
This is number 2, and this is number 1.
1. Okay.
2. 2?
2. Yeah, I like the pink, the colors.
Yeah. Beth, what do you think?
I was going to say 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Great. Well, I think I actually like number 1. So that's good. That's good that we all have different, opinions. There's something for all of us. So thank you so much for joining. And
thank you.
Don't forget, you can always delay if you don't, if you're going to be away for the month or something, you can always skip a month on your subscription. You just go into the Stampin' Up! Website and it allows you to do that. And you can skip as many as you feel you need to, and let it come whenever you can get to use it, but that's all up to you. It's very flexible. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me. But thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.